Batman Superman World's Finest issue 16, Mark Waid writing with Dan Mora on the art. So we've got Mora New Mazo and all of his antics. So
just because obviously I wasn't here for the last issue.
Mm-hmm.
This is still Dick as Robin. It's set in the past, right?
Is this because there's a smartphone mentioned at one point?
It's not just that it's smartphone. It's that they talk about AI and they talk about like it's the specific phrasing of calling it AI and they're like, oh yeah, and like they say smartphones and self-driving cars.
Yeah, that was a bit weird to me, but I suppose
comics.
But I suppose in a weird way, because time obviously is always kind of fluid and moving forward with comics. It feels maybe a bit soon for this, but in some level, what we think of as the Silver Age and the characters' lives is probably at least post 2000 now.
It's when we started reading comics. Is the Silver Age?
I know.
I'm not so mad at there being smartphones because it didn't bother me in whatever what Batman book was it? It might have been the Lemire Batman and Robin, or Robin and Batman.
Yeah,
there was like a smartphone during that, and Pete got really hung up on it being there.
It felt weird to me at the time. This feels probably weirder because it's meant to be a past story in continuity.
It's less the fact that there are smartphones. It's more the phrasing of it as those things as AI.
Yeah,
right.
Like even now, people don't call those things AI.
No.
Yeah. I guess it's like it's set in the past, but Waid just doesn't really care about making it feel like the past.
It's the sort of thing as well, like functionally, I felt this last issue as well, but just the idea of a Mazo 2.0, like how do you go back down to a Mazo for every threat following this period and it still feel like a threat?
I mean, you just forget this story happened, I suppose, when it comes up again.
But it's more an in-universe thing. It's like it's it's that power crunch. Everything's getting stronger and stronger, but this feels like it's too strong too early in the timeline.
Yeah, no,
you're not wrong.
Yeah,
that's with all that said, I don't hate the story. I don't hate the issue. I just it was like timeline nitpicks.
Yeah, I mean, I still had a lot of fun with this. I think this idea that Amazo to be perfect needed the tech from the Metal Men so it could actually think for himself. Okay, that's a fine concept. Yeah.
Yeah, because Amazo's always just been brute strength, and now what if he had intellect to have brute strength?
I also like Robin and Flash showing up with the cavalry at the end. That's a fun moment. You've got Plastic Man and the Metal Men.
Sorry, do you mean Mr. Wang?
Very good. Very good. That's a reference to the Gail Simone Plastic Man miniseries.
Wang. Everything was so Wang.
Yeah. So all the action's really good. Obviously the art's amazing here. I really like the moment actually where Batman gets the other people who have been held captive by New Mazo to make Oliver a bow and arrow so he can like fire something at the New Mazo.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
Or not even New Mazo, sorry, it's the Kryptonite.
It's Ultramorpho.
Yeah, and he's lining up the shot and he's like, doesn't this like reveal my secret identity? And Batman just whispers, I'm Batman, they'll think it was me.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really funny.
Well, it's up there with the Bill Murray thing to me of the no one will ever believe you.
Yeah.
And anytime you have normal people teaming up with Batman, they're just going to assume Batman did it.
Yeah.
So I like that it adds to the legend.
It's the sort of thing where because Batman, the mythology of because Batman is really fun to use because it's not because Batman, because he's not doing it.
Right. But it's also that it's the Ollie and Bruce rivalry that I just love. And it's why, when he shows up in Dark Knight Returns on Bruce's side, that's why it means so much because these two are always on opposite ends of each other.
Yeah.
So, so here them playing into that and he's like, and Bruce kind of twists the dagger. Everyone's just going to think it was me anyways.
And I was like, like you could do this.
Right.
Yeah. But the point is everyone will think it was him that did this, Ollie.
Right.
Sorry about that. But, yeah, so Batman and Superman, once they're rescued, dish out all these jobs to the team. Sends Wonder Woman and Robin, which is do you know what? One of my favorite things about this book has become like all the different people he keeps teaming Robin up with. We've seen Robin with Superman, Robin with Supergirl, Robin with Flash, now Robin with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that makes sense because he is
everyone loves Dick Grayson.
Everyone loves Dick, absolutely.
Yes, he's the heart of the DCU, and this is why, right? He's
Waid understands that.
Yeah. So they go off to because TW or Morrow or T.O. Morrow is the only like robot inventor who was not kidnapped. and brought into
because
this.
he saw it coming and was like, "Out, I'm out. See ya."
Which is basically what he says. And then the big cliffhanger at the end of the issue is that the Supergirl that showed up with the rest of the team was not actually Supergirl. It was Numezo shapeshifted to be Supergirl because he's taken shapeshifting abilities from someone, probably Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
would be my guess, but
Probably, yeah.
yeah. So I thought that was a fun little cliffhanger.
yeah.
The book, it just kind of continues to be like this absurd blend of like comics pulp where Wade's really good at just doing these light-hearted stories. Clearly he does not care about the things we were nitpicking at the start, which is these...
They're not big deals.
No,
Not really.
he's just-
It's just things that I like as I was reading it and getting, especially it's in the first couple of pages, so I'm not like into the issue yet. It always takes a couple of pages.
He's not letting actual logic get in the way of the story,
Yeah.
right? He has a story that he wants to tell about AI, and
It's the sort of story where the writing's good and fun, but with a average art, just a regular house style artist. I would maybe consider dropping this book at that point. Like it's the art that brings it to life and makes it a must read.
Also, I think Waid is also pulling these insane, like, because every character that pops up in this, I'm sure, is a real character that he knows that he's putting in there. But there's like ones that he mentions in here that I have never heard of, and there's like 5 of them probably by the time the issue ends, and I'm like, you're just pulling these deep cuts out of your DC knowledge ass.
He's a lot like Morrison with that.
Yeah, and it's very impressive. Like one of the robot inventors was like, "Who's this one?" Like I read, I know Ivo, I know,
Toyman, Dr. Cyber, Bertram Larvin.
Yeah, Larvin, that was the one. Like, who's this guy? I don't know. I believe he's real. I know Waid pulled him from somewhere.
we're gonna find out right now. I didn't have time to look last night when I was reading it.
Yeah, so it's just like I trust that he's putting in a lot of the weird nerdy shit that he wants to.
Like GI Robot.
That was the other one, yeah. GI Robot, never heard of. But I think what makes it all work, apart from just being fun and the art being great, is that it's those little moments like Oliver and Batman, or these interactions between Robin and Wonder Woman, where he just gets the personalities of the characters so well that it's always fun to read as a DC fan, especially since we're doing these versions of them that are a bit more back to basics in a sense, because they're not the current, like, weighed down by decades and decades of continuity.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Like I say, it means there are those inconsistencies that you feel, but it makes them very straightforward, simplified versions of the characters. They're very streamlined.
Yeah, so
that means you can just play with them in the raw form.
Have good fun. Right, you got this Larvam character, Matt?
I don't.
Oh my
He's
god,
not coming
this
up.
is a deep cut then.
There he goes. He was also the Bug-Eyed Bandit.
Whoa!
And a thief and adventurer. He uses mechanical bugs to commit crimes in Ivy Town, so he's an Atom villain. I spelled Larvin wrong,
Okay.
so that's why it
probably
wasn't
why,
coming up. But yeah.
He's a
And then-
villain. Okay.
Dr. Cyber?
Do you know what? I don't think I can
familiar?
name you a villain of the Atom. Actually, that's a
Well, now you can.
now I can apparently. Yeah.
Ants.
So, and
Very funny.
Dr. Cyber is a Wonder Woman villain.
Okay.
So,
She's got a lot of doctors as well then.
Yeah. Doctor
Yeah.
Psycho, Doctor Cyber, Doctor Poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That honestly had a good time. It was fun. But probably doesn't lead to the same amount of discussion as those last few books. So.
No, it's a very straightforward, just fun book, and I think a lot of that is Dan Mora's art just being gorgeous the whole time, because the way that man churns out issue after issue every month without fail and looks this good
yeah.
is impressive.
Almost like he has superpowers.
When's the last time you saw a Dan Mora fill-in? Like, when he needed one? Because he went straight from... He was working on Once and Future into Detective Comics, straight into this. He's got Shazam. Like, they always stagger it so he's alternating arcs, but you get a good chunk of Dan Mora art at a time. You never have, like, his one issue, and then he's off for 2 issues, and then he's back.
He's a machine.
No. And when he does need a break, that's where they do, like, the one issue.
Like, I know we've
like
got...
the Travis Moore.
Travis Moore, yeah, I was going to say, is coming up.
Yeah. Also, just one note here is New Morpho also takes intelligence from people in the same way that the powers come. So it mentions that he's already smarter than all these scientists combined because he's taken all their knowledge. So just something worth noting probably for future reference.
power creep is real.
Somehow Batman will still outsmart him because he's Batman.
There's even a moment where Hal's like that at one point, where like Batman tells him to go and do something, and he's like, isn't that what they want? He's like, yeah, never mind, Batman.
Yeah. He's got a plan. Just go.
Yeah.
No. All right, Matt. What are you giving World's Finest?
I'm gonna give this a 7.5.
Connor?
Also agreeing at the 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. I have no reason to rock the boat.